Good evening, everyone. My name is E.R. Anderson. I'm the executive director of Charis Circle. Charis Circle is a nonprofit programming arm of Charis Books. And tonight is Cliterati. We are so excited to be here with all of you. Tonight's feature is Amalia González-Cidre. And their book is Wait for Me by the Grass, which we have been selling steadily at Charis for several months. And Amalia has been here reading at several open mics. So I'm so excited when we got the opportunity last month to open up this spot, and Amalia volunteered. So I'm really excited to get to hype their book. I am going to adjust the camera because I realized that where the podium is going to be right where everyone's face is. So yeah, if you slide it, keep sliding. Yeah, boom. Okay. Our hostess with the mostest tonight is Karen G. Karen, do we need to? Karen, it's that round knob on the inside. Yep, that's gonna slide it up and down. Boom. There we go. Okay. So.
Ooh, now we're on.
Now we're on. Now Karen G is on.
Now
we're all on with all our folks watching.
I'm on.
So the way this works, if it's your first time, is that Karen G and perhaps Theresa Davis are going to warm us up a little bit. And then if you haven't got a chance to sign up, you may do so on the list. It's never too late to sign up. And then we will have our feature towards the end. And then you will have an opportunity to buy the book and hang out and get it signed. But
yes, and you want it because it's really good.
It is very good.
Or at least what we've heard of it so far.
Yes. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to Karen to get this party started.
Hi, everybody. Hi, it is so good to be here in person and virtually. I love hybrid. I love that we can be available to people doing it like from anywhere, everywhere, and sharing words and language with each other in accessible ways. Yay! So give it up for Charis for making things making hybrid and availability. And Theresa's going to be running late. Tomorrow she has a Dad Slam themed thing at the Arts Exchange in East Point. And so she's kind of running around trying to get everything ready for that. But she should be here before too long. So I will open up with a couple of things, digging around. This is an older piece. Been thinking about matriarchs lately. Matriarch, flapper, floozy. She silver flasked moonshine she made herself. Wide hips, swish suede, dolled up in fringe red dresses. Heels, Charleston chewing floors. She cut rugs with dapper men. Hairlines waxed shiny as shoes. They brought her flowers whose heads drooped when she didn't send them a second calling card. Her mouth, tart. Even a baby didn't mess up her stocking seams for too long. She dropped that bundle off with a silver cigarette holder, cackling off slanted stairs and the hiss of slithering tongues, shrugged off church, tucked in hooch money into her bra. She pressed her curls, hustled counter jobs and sketchy men, and called them by their cat's pajamas. She hit on all sixes. I wonder when those numbers turned. Imagine the hardened kiss fit of her eventual husband. What a flyboy he must have been to keep up with her. I think of her as the beginning, myself an extension, the muzzle of her rifle aim, the time a bully came up to her porch sniffing for a fight with her brother. He is invisible, but she is legendary. My great-grandmother, a woman before her time, a woman carved before we could even wear pants in public. know that that came from a challenge of trying to use phrases and idioms from a different time period to describe things. So, like, flyboy was one of them, right? And then this, I have been doing this seminar, and it's really interesting when this sort of thing happens. But I've been doing this seminar for the past couple of months, talking about punk music and what is punk music. And Randy Goo, who is one of my colleagues and also a punk musician, like, we've been having these discussions and digging back into like our histories with music and talking to local musicians about it. And yesterday we were on this article that was talking about Bikini Kill, and it centered on this show that I remember. Like, I was there at this show, and and it's centered on that. And it's so funny how things are differently documented and not like they match your memory, but only sort of. Um, and then that thought was like, I really need to write more about those punk years. And like, I really want to write more about those punk years. And similarly, like about a month ago, some Vancouver slam poets they do this thing called Smashed Poetics, where they take an album or like some music and then match poems with songs. And like Bikini Kill was one of those songs. They were doing like women in punk. And I received my favorite punk band, 7 Year Bitch, and was tasked to and paid to do a poem about them and this song. So this is that. I want it. Give it to me. I love it. Don't give it to her. You got to give it to me. I want it. I saw it first. I want it worse. I love it. Give it to me. I love it. Before one of the greatest opening lines to a rock collection ever, in a declaration of want and meanness, of crave and confident desire, a send up of sexist capitalist entitlement. Before that were mixtapes and EPs circulated in punk circles like crowd surfers getting passed hand to hand, making sure we'd land from whatever we'd survived on our feet. Band names held us from DC Discord days like Women of Destruction, Estrojet, Cold, Cold Hearts, in dialogue with punk women from the West Coast like Spitboy, Heavens to Betsy, Bratmobile, Tribe 8, Screaming Dead Men Don't Rape, Rebel Girl, Riot. We try to imagine what it would be like to own our anger righteously. We clipped magazines and made zines. We photocopied and screen printed. We took DIY and circulated our own news, imagining a world where we flipped scripts, owned our own anger and sexuality before we were appropriated and watered down into Alanis more upsets. There was the Knot, that grungy place of alleyway and hole in the wall garage, someone's basement or backyard. We also knew the crushing into an experience of loving someone who turns out to be an asshole, abusive, maybe a predator. How could we not see it? How did we miss it? How did it escape our grasp? Why couldn't we have made a difference? How often we turned all of those questions onto ourselves. My lungs are filled with smoke, eyes light and hazy from too many tears, red and glossy from too many beers, and my stomach shapes into one big knot. We all knew the knot. But then how, if we get in touch with that sickness instead of turning it inward? You got to turn the other way to avoid that clown. If we set boundaries and avoid the person who harmed us, Clarity can come from it. Oh, I'm amazed at the clarity. Yeah, I'm amazed at the rage in me. Was an instruction manual. Anger as a fuel. Many of us were taught to avoid. That if we play nice, turn the knot inside ourselves instead, we just get over it. Oh, I'm amazed at the clarity is a line that sticks out to me even now, more than 20 years later. Anger as an energy force, if we pronounce it, declare it, if we follow it to where it goes, and how it can sometimes take care of us with the sharp clarity it brings. We can prepare ourselves for the next time, because there will always be a next time. In the mosh pit, in the grungy clubs of first encounters, in the news, we found those predators, or maybe even used drunken coercion ourselves, the ugly knot of it, of us, in us, grieving over predator sociopaths of broken hockey sticks and bent tiaras and tarnished ball gowns. Once the rage filled me like Tetris pieces falling into place that way. I knew, we knew, communities even knew. Oh, I'm amazed at the clarity. You kissed me once and you kissed me twice. Oh, now I'll sign this paper for everyone to see. And now I'm up here singing for everyone to hear, you, especially you. It's all for you and it's because of you. And what's that? Sitting on your pant leg. So that was a little punk rock stuff coming into being. And then let's see. I think I might have another one. Well, this is literally sweet. Sugar in the raw. It started with a little rectangle torn at the corner because it said raw. And you like your sweetness to crunch at the bottom. It started with kissing, waiting, licking open from the edges. I just want a little sugar in my bowl. And it was there, so thick and strong, clothes didn't even come off those first few times. And you stir, now upgrading to maple syrup, real, tapped from the living of trees. You see yourself in pictures. Notice you've maybe gained some curves from absorbing and storing all that unprocessed sugar. And now there's a word that brings suck and sacred close together as they should be, as though it will drain away. And yet knowing how the ripped corner becomes the ice creamy, how dark roast becomes mocha, how the smallest crystal becomes the mouth wanting a whole hand instead of a finger. How the granulated becomes the difficulty walking from slick urgencies. How a little more with each stir, a little more often makes it oh so bad. Whoa. The list is at the front, so I'm going to take a second to run up to the front. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, Deb V, you are ready, aren't you? You beat us all here and are like first on the list. So please give it up for Deb V.
Thank you. Is it okay to take off my mask? Or-
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
good.
I just
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, everybody. How you doing? So this is the first time for me ever to stand up at an open mic. And yes, ma'am, it's the first time.
We love and support
Woo!
you. Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah.
And so I have one piece I'd like to present. It is a tribute to a very special person who I will not name, but I was asked a few months ago to contribute to a collection of pieces that will honor this person upon their retirement, which is coming up. And so this person is an amazing feminist scholar that has inspired me. And the piece that I wrote is a tribute to them, speaking out just what that inspiration has been. Flamethrower is the title. Flamethrower. Silenced, self-censored, tendered, and rendered as invisible. Surrendered like a right breast via cancer amputation. I see you travel lane waist to waist, a flamethrower bringing beauty, bringing light to light along the road. Debris and detritus scorched like so much toxic masculinity, one-upmanship, critique, and bracketing of an eye. You see that eye, a self, a feeling, a wince, a mother. Your words rise, undoing generational damage, doing generational heavy lifting. Road opening, road refusing, road reconstructing, pathfinder, signposter, traveler, disruptor, arsonist. Thank you for all your searing, fiery, gentle fragments, stitches, and repairs. Flamethrower.
Wow. That is awesome. And as an Aries, I appreciate that very much. That was lovely. Thank you. And I think that tribute's gonna go over great. Like awesome. Is anybody else? I'll pass this list of yeah, awesome. And in the meantime, Maya P. Maya. Yes, hi. Awesome.
Guess I'm gonna take my off too. This is also my first time doing an open mic, so thank you for going first. Someone convinced me to go ahead and give it a go, so I'm here giving it a go. The piece I'm gonna read is something that I wrote when I was kind of struggling to stay afloat in my life, but I kind of found my way up, and the piece is titled Drowning. And I'm going to read it off my phone because I didn't print it, but okay. Drowning. It's a slow process. You think you're making headway, that maybe land will come into sight once this wave passes. Only to find that once it does, you're farther out. The water's deeper, darker. At last, you find someone willing to share their boat, and it has holes, but you use your last shreds of garments to keep them closed, and they still have theirs, of course, minus a pocket or two, so you can be near them when the nights get cold and feel warm. Only to wake one day and find they're indifferent to the sun flaming your skin, the dryness in your throat, the peeling of your lips, the listless look in your eye. And though they don't speak, they expect, because they never motion to remove their clothing to cover you, but don't mind when you seek them in the night, and you grow comfortable with that. only to realize one day that the illness overtaking you cannot be patched like the boat. It's coursing through your veins, your nerves, your spirit. It's driving you mad. And you have to ask, can I brave the waves? Should I die trying? Or should I die staying? And you jump, and you swim, and you tread, and you float. And when the sun beats down, the water cools you. It doesn't ease the parch. It doesn't ease the violent sickness. But some days, when you aren't looking down at the watery deep below, you know without looking, your eyes are sparkling and your burns aren't searing. Land is in sight, finally, and you want to stop now, just knowing it's there. But you owe it to the shoreline to see your steps, because along the coast is a greeting. Along the coast is warmth. Along the coast is your medicine. Every breath in your lungs wants to be your last. You are so tired. And you are afraid that your will might not outlast your strength. This is where you start to drown. Slowly. There's a rage in your mind that can't be quieted as the water takes space where oxygen should reside. But your eyes are closed. Maybe this is fine. Maybe being lost to sea is an ending that's meant for me. And it feels revolting to give up, but it's also nice to no longer find yourself holding an expectation. That's when your head hits rock, your eyes open, and as you swim back to the surface, the water seems to rush to help. It knows you better than you. You're not here to fall. Not now, not ever. And you let go of the person in the boat. You pray they find their destination, and you vow to never burn again. You break the surface, and the air is good. You move to swim, only to find your hand breaking sand. You've survived. Stand up, the shoreline tells you. Stand up, the shoreline says to you. Stand up, the shoreline cries to you. You crawl, you drag, but eventually you stand. The shoreline screams in joy, only it's not the shoreline after all. It's your people, it's your life, and it's what will get you off this island too. Thank you.
So awesome. Thank you. First timers rocking the house tonight. Please, more applause for that. Yes. That's awesome. That was beautiful. And the shore is your people. Absolutely. And one of my people is Kelly. Are you ready? So, yes, my partner, Kelly.
This one is really old, so I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I don't have a whole lot. Didn't have a whole lot with me. Anyway, heads, first memory. Memories, powerful memories. Picture this. I wake up, gasping for air, my whole body sweating as I fight for air, air that breathes life, life that needs air, choking. Grasping for the hands that are so tight around my throat, only there's nothing there. Nothing there. My head is swimming, trying to force air into my iron lungs, grasping once again for her hands, her postpartum hands, her strong mother hands, her delicate hands, her soft hands, her I am too young for this baby hands, her last resort hands, her this is the answer to my problem hands, her I can't really love this crying baby hands, her freshly manicured hands, her soon to be bloody hands, her not so innocent anymore hands, her I want out of this life hands, her I can't do this anymore hands, her trapped hands, her unforgiving hands. And right before I pass out, air enters into my iron lungs, and I thank my grandmother for interrupting those hands. Beautiful.
Thank you, love. First time on the Cliterati mic, yes. Next on the mic, we have Leah. Right, awesome. Come on up.
This is also my first time. Thank you, guys. I do have a question though. I have a word in this poem that I don't say out loud. Is it atrocity or atrocity? Atrocity? Thank you. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Thank you. Okay. This poem is called Liberating the Mundane. It's sunset and our street is quiet. Quietness hasn't been reserved for this city, so I savor the soft, cool breeze and try to memorize outlines of fluffy clouds brimming with all that was today. I'm here, standing, staring, in the what could be a driveway but may just be disheveled layers of shame, and I become aware of how acutely embarrassing it is to have your underwear hanging to dry for everyone to see, nowhere to hide. An atrocity of living in this body. My stained underwear with holes, I like to think they tell a story of pain I meant to hide, stories of wonder and awe, but not too much pride. A story slowly unraveled now that's been hung to dry. I reach forward and nuzzle warm, soft cloth, pajamas freshly drying from the day's sun, breathing in familiar soapy scents, reminding me of opening gifts from this faraway land. The land of the language my mother's tongue will forever be sung. These moments almost pass by me like a soapy, wet glass slipping from my hands, and I can't help but wonder, how can I keep this in a glass jar when I'm the last one to fully relish in it? An atrocity of living in this body, yet another I'll gladly keep, as it's made my days sweeter and my love feels deeper and gentler, like messy underwear hanging freely, an ode to slower living, embracing the mundane and showing grace to the atrocities of living.
That was so awesome, and I have underwear that resembles that poem. Thank you so much. All right, and next up we have Alyssa Ray. And then is there anyone else who wanted to sign up? I can pass the list over that way if you want. No? Okay, cool.
Hi. I'm back, second time. I have 2 very gay poems for you in honor of Pride Month. This first one is called Blush in Teenage Girl. The back of my hand has received more kisses from me than my current lover. The thought makes me tuck a few strands of hair behind my ear and blush in teenage girl. But when I finally got the chance to unfurl in front of them, I refused to stop. They are a breath for the taking, not just because their skin is copper bronze, or their eyes ring infinite and true, and not because their words flow firm and confident and sure, but because I think we both know that this is divine order. I watch them drink me in and smile, and I am unspoken. And I am also the unspoken sigh this evening, a breath for the taking. I am the reason they feel joy in this moment. I am why their eyes twinkle infinite and true. And so I tuck a few strands behind my ear and blush in teenage girl. I don't have a title for the second one yet, but here we go. They make my eyes soften, first in like, then in love. Gentle touches just like the breeze does. Whispered, I miss you. And you shared you missed me too. I am not myself, but I am the best version around you. And it's strange because I always knew I would one day find this part of me. But who knew it would take me giving myself just a little chance to first like, then love. Just the simple act of soft eyes and gentle touches just like the breeze does. Thank you.
Oh, y'all, so beautiful. So beautiful. More applause, please, just because that's so awesome and gorgeous. And now we're going to have our feature, Amalia, whose poems rise like orchids from the crack. And I'm so glad that we're in person because we came back to being in person. And then here you are, and you've showed up in person each time, and beautiful, beautiful poems. And now we get to hear a full set. I'm so excited. So take this away from me. Yes.
Thank you. Oh, this is sweet.
To hear a whole set.
Yay. Hello, everyone. So exciting to be here. Like Karen said, I've read a few times at the open mics here at Charis, and it's really nice to come to a queer space, a queer-friendly space, and just be able to talk about these silly feelings. This is my book. There's only like 2 left, I think, up there. And I didn't have enough money to order more. So if you want them, you can tell me and I'll order them for you. But yeah, I wrote this I wrote most of these in 2020. And a lot of it was just, I was really sad because I had just graduated college. I went through a really tough breakup and I was kind of stuck inside the place where that happened. So it was really weird. Yeah. And so I kind of divided this up into 4 different sections to kind of explain how that goes through. So the first one is called Loss. A lot of the pieces in this collection were written during that, that weird time. And I felt numb a lot. And this kind of encompasses those early days. So this one is, well, don't forget the flower food. I'm trying to still be the person you helped me become. Less yelling, more breathing, more patience, less complaining. It's hard without your reinforcement. Looks across the room, hands on my knee, warmth from every part of you. Your voice in my head humming my name. Soft smile, goddess, you've planted me, now I must water my own seeds. Okay. This one's called Mindfuck. I wish I could stop thinking, just in general. I wish things would come to me and go and I could keep flowing. Thinking about you is the most confusing feeling. My heart feels like it was put through a shutter, but covered in glitter right before, like I painted it in rainbows and sunlight and dropped it face fucking first into a dark pile of mud. I feel fucked. Not in a good way, not how I like it. Like nothing will ever be happy again. I know it will. I know I'm being crazy, but what the fuck? Heartbreak makes me crazy. So I wish I could stop thinking, and I wish I could hate you, because then I wouldn't miss you, and I could stop crying for once. Thank you. This one's called New Year's Day. I don't want to miss you today. It's not the time or place. I'm leaving you here in this mess of a year to grow moss and kiss my ass goodbye. But seeing you there alive and, well, living is hard enough to stomach without the bells of the new year making me deaf tonight. Keeping those eyes off my prize, you stay right where I left you, toasting drinks and saying things that don't matter to me. I'm leaving those soulful eyes for someone else to find, here where I was, as I go towards what will be. Yay. Okay, and this is the last one for this section. It's called Radio Hit. Our story was so good, God, I'd never heard anything like it. Everyone would say, oh, wow, how lucky, and I'd smile, smile, smile every time and say, yeah, I know, isn't it fucking wonderful? To brag about you felt like having millions. She glows and everybody wants her. To say you were mine, oh man, I felt like the biggest man. There was something about us. Our love was so unique. The first time we kissed, you said to me, no one's ever kissed me like that. How am I ever going to find anyone else who sings sweet symphonies to me like you did? Unplug the radio. This song is over fucking played. All right. Thank you. This next section is called Memories. I'm a really nostalgic person, which sets me up for failure a lot. I tend to, hoard things and keep things. And then when I have to let things go, it makes it really difficult. And so this is kind of about that kind of feeling. This first one is called Hidden. I kept bits of you everywhere. Pink slips tucked in between pages or letters taped to my wall, screenshots of texts and envelopes in case I ever doubted or became afraid, in case loving you ever felt like my fault. In the moment now, I wish I hadn't done that. It's made it that much harder to escape you, to turn my back on routines and plant my own trees, but hey, they remind me that you loved me then and always did. So it wasn't my fault. Those gentle nudges that I saved, I knew I'd need them someday. This one's called Storage. There's a shelf in my mind where I keep pictures of the women who danced around my soul. Years of memories, kisses under sheets, waiting to open the door and show the world all we've created. On gloomy mornings, I peek into these frames and remember ice cream by the shore, whispering stairwell secrets, dancing in the kitchen. I cut myself on the edge of this photograph of her and I by the park. Sweet, sweet blood brings me back to when all I wanted was your kiss and the soft, gentle feeling of your hands. Yay. Never know what to do in between. It's kind of just, okay. Okay. This one's called Moments. Some things will always remind me of you. Rounded driveways and boats on the canal and ice cream cones. I think that will always linger, because how could it not? Moments we shared where everything felt like forever, that never melted and dripped down our hands but held together in the freezer. Well, you open the door and it's all a sticky, drippy mess. I'm tired of being the only one, it seems, with paper towels to wipe it up. Don't you think you could have thought this through? Parking behind your house now stings instead of stimulates, and I miss it. Yeah, and I'll always think of kissing you by the door at night, but soon it will settle in my bloodstreams and I'll smile at it with no pang in my chest to haunt me. Yay. All right, this is the last one for this section. It's called 305. Any Miami people in the house? Winter at the summer place, toes beneath the sand, kissing next to your rooftop, we dance under the covers of your bed, and the sun shines through the window. Awake, you wait for me to see you, marveling there, an angel above my sky. Yes, I remember so clearly those sunny December mornings, wrapped in your arms, gone now. A nice memory. Yes, but too frigid to hold. So I let it go with the July winds and breathe the salt air in, beginning. Yes. Yay. All right, this next section is called Healing. Yay. I know. So it took a lot longer than I thought. I know, to get back on my feet. And a lot of it was learning to be okay with being alone, physically and mentally, and emotionally. And also kind of accepting that I had other people in my life that loved me and had my back. And that was really, for some reason, very difficult. So this first one is called Awake. Today is just today. It's just 24 hours of breath in and out and through my brain, sunrise to sunset to shooting stars to soft pillows. Today is not forever. It's not every moment of growth or loss or laughter or tears. Today is not the penultimate moment. The reach and scream. Today is now, through and through. Write it down, put it away, and let the sunlight bring you to another beginning. Just a little preface for this one. This one is kind of about me and how I lost myself, and I would look at pictures of myself when I wasn't sad, and it was kind of weird to see what I used to look like, you know. So anyway, it's called Hey You. I see that smile, glowing and wide, a girl with dreams the size of blanket blue skies, happy to hope with open eyes. She walked pencil in hand, looking straight towards her perfect path. I miss those chocolate pools that stared back at me in the mirror, now black holes. Burned into dark gray skies over misty cities, my heart sings a slower song, a ballad of longing to the girl in the picture who thought she knew better, who's gone, but left some seeds to water. So I'll buy a pot and make some room beyond the clouds for a streak of light. The soil swallows up my tears and up she'll sprout, new again, like once before. This one's called Away from Home. Thinking of forest green doorways, misty parking garages with hot cement, floors that sustain my weight, a painting my father made, sitting under the shade of a peach tree, calling someone I love at 3 a.m., seeing the colors of the thunderstorm pour in, and look at that, just me in the picture. Just grass tickling my leg hair and shivers across my skin. My, own laughter, own pain, own growth. Leaves from trees fall down with their own seeds, fruit. Does the apple fall from the tree to the root? I never think of you until I realize. Then I do.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Okay. This one's called 617. Any Boston people in the house? Okay. I didn't realize I did that. That's weird. Anyway, this was my city first. My sticky sidewalks, my screeching trains, my bagel sandwiches and hangover cures. My black water rivers, my hot yellow tunnels, my summer on the pier, shopping bags in my hand. I won't let that walk away from me, stick its toes into the dirt and leave. No, I'll grab it by the tail, my red light running, heartbeat racing, smooth, soft kiss of a city, and take it with me, tied to my suitcase. Yes. All right. So our final section is called Stillness. Like I said, it did take a while, but eventually I found my footing. I'm fine now. And this section is kind of highlights those moments of realization. So this first one is called Track 5. A song plays that sings notes of your perfume and stumbles through the ringlets in your hair. I choke or trip up, catch myself singing along to the sound of your voice as my eyes go fuzzy. Thinking of your lips, unplugging the stereo, I push my hair back behind my ears, wipe the tears, and hum on my way home. This one is called Constant. A note about this one too, I was born in Puerto Rico, and this is just kind of, I always felt like a callback to the ocean, I guess. Anybody else can kind of relate to something like that. When I was born, the sea was there. The first sounds I heard were the crashing of the summer waves, and when we left those crystal waters, something changed. When I was 12, I hated the ocean. Sticky salt and sand stuck to my sandals. Just to be different, I ran from it. And when I chose the city, something changed. When I was 20, I was shaken awake, almost lost my life on my kitchen floor. I found the water swishing under my toes, and something changed. The water has stayed the same. Sapphire crests against the earth, beyond heartbreak, loss, change, and laughter. I've seen that endless horizon where nothing's changed.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, last one for this section. It's called Mine. I am so good. I build up shelters for the delicate hearts I'm born to protect. And time again, I see those same hearts break the bricks I lay. My hot tears don't deserve such tender muscles to absorb them. I've earned a heart that will shelter me too, until our chests cave in and we're forced to trust the foundation surrounding our delicate skin to catch our last bits of dust together. All right. I've got one more piece that's not in the book. I wrote it after a mic here, actually. I want to dedicate it to my friend Wynn, who's not here. But they've read here before, actually, and they're an amazing poet and really helped me a lot just as a friend and blah, blah. But yeah, I've kind of always tussled with gender a lot, the feeling and expression of it and all. And it was kind of hard for me to really write it down and pinpoint how it made me feel. And after coming to Charis and these open mics and stuff, I could kind of find myself knowing how to write it down. So I named it after a Shakira song because she was my sexual awakening. So it's called Costume Makes the Clown. Cis. Am I cis? I say woman, respond to she, yet my body feels like Gumby half the time. I want to unscrew my boobs like light bulbs and sew in a strap-on when I'm feeling like one and be nothing all at once. I love to be a girl, to romance and curl my lashes and go braless, but lowering my voice gives me the chills. I love when the barber shaves my neck, catches my short haircut, and sees boy. Boy, am I a girl? Feels silly to ask when my trans family is getting skinned at the stake for their willingness to exist. Is that where I fit? On the front lines, saying theirs is mine is ours, or just another cis lesbian shrimp dick, weak in the knees, responding to she. Who is she? Was she? God, what a puzzle to live in the shadow of womanhood. Yay. Thank you. Yay. I'm so grateful to be the feature, especially for Pride. That's so exciting and means a lot to me. And yeah, if you want to buy my book, that's really nice. I'll sign it for you. But yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys are all really talented and amazing, and I really appreciate it. But yeah, yay, happy Pride.
That's so awesome. What a lovely evening. Thank you so much. Thank you all for the first timers who've come for the first time, whatever first time that means to you. Welcome home and thank you. I'm borrowing that from Slam for Your Die up in New Hampshire. I'm kind of borrowing that from them. They always did this thing where like if this is your first time reading on a mic, they say thank you and welcome home. And I feel like that is really appropriate to this room, time, and this space as well. So, yes. So thank you all so much. Theresa apologizes for not making it. She got caught in holiday traffic running around, and then so she apologizes profusely for missing your feature. She really wanted to be here. And we're gonna need 2 copies of your book for our house. So thank you all. And next, I think we might be on summer hiatus.
I'm not sure about that. We'll find
Or
out. I think
not summer hiatus.
I think we're on July 19th, I think.
Okay. All right. That's good
I don't
to
know
know.
who our feature is, but I think we're on.
Okay. I
maybe-
wasn't sure if we were on hiatus or not because that
Oh,
was
maybe
a
no, we are on
conversation.
hiatus. No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're back in August. Yeah.
We're back in August in the
Yes.
thick of the heat
August
and the
17th.
swelter.
Anastasia Renee.
Yes, Anastasia Renee. Okay, awesome. So we will see you in the summer swelter of August. Yes. Please bring your friends if you're a first timer reading on the bike. Welcome back with that time. And any other announcements you have, ER, about stuff going on or things you want to point us to?
No, I'm just going to say goodnight to our virtual friends and make sure they
Yes,
know that
definitely.
they can click the teal button at the bottom center of the screen to buy Wait For Me by The Grass from Charis. So it's not just our in-person friends
Exactly.
who can buy the book. You can also buy it with that link. So good night to all of you. Thanks for joining us virtually. We appreciate it.